Hello, my name is Paul Shearin. I'm the pastor of Bible Baptist Church of Hillsboro, Texas. I'm also the founder of the Independent Baptist Builders. We founded this ministry in 2009 with the purpose of assisting and helping pastors and churches going through building programs, remodeling facilities, or sometimes just updating their buildings. We have full-time families that travel the United States, helping churches in this manner, trying to take the load off the pastor and the leadership of the church so they can continue their everyday ministries and still see the building program go on.
The Independent Baptist Builders are a group of God-called, local church-sent and supported missionaries that travel the country and are called to help churches in their building project. They're also families that have proven themselves faithful in their local church ministries, as well as men who are knowledgeable in general construction to be able to lend that skill to churches.
Independent Baptist Builders is able to save churches money by providing the free labor at no cost to the church. Many of the men that are involved in our group have owned their own businesses before and capable of doing a variety of different things involved in construction, from framing to sheetrock to laying floor, a lot of different aspects as far as remodeling and new construction. Our men basically are able to handle any task that would be given to us. Not only are we able to do those things for churches and save typically 40 to 60% of the cost of the total building, our desire also is to be a blessing to churches that may not have access to labor in some places or not have the capability of having members that are able to do the work physically or jump in themselves. So Independent Baptist Builders would come along and do the work at no cost to be able to be a benefit to the church.
Our goal is to save churches money that can then be focused more on missions and other outreach programs, as well as limiting the need for a church to go into debt to achieve their building project goals, and to limit the time needed to be saving money for that project, because the need for finances would be much lower if we're able to help a church in that process.
Our desire as Independent Baptist Builders is not only help with the building process, but to be a blessing in the ministry aspect of the church as well. Teach, preach, our families could do special music, any opportunity to outreach and be a blessing in the community. We want to be involved with that as well. Not only do we help the pastor on the project, but we help him make decisions that would benefit the church as far as saving money and doing the best job possible in the building. Also, Independent Baptist Builders would be a good testimony on the job site, working along other subs that may not have opportunity to hear the gospel or may not be in church for any other reason, but to do the building project. Our men can come alongside, work with those men, and also be able to have an opportunity to witness to them as well through this process.
Our group helps churches that are fundamental, independent, and King James Bible preaching churches and church planners, as well as helping ministries that would be out of a church of that faith, such as camps, boys' homes, girls' homes, and anything that would further the gospel out of a church of that faith.
Take a moment just to talk to you about the benefits of the Independent Baptist Builders and the wonderful ministry that they have bestowed upon our church. A very unique time for us as a church. Not only did they save us literally a couple $100,000 on our building project, we projected $250,000 to $300,000 to remodel our auditorium, and we were going to be able to do it for less than $90,000 when all is said and done. And that is thanks in large part to Independent Baptist Builders and the labor that they're saving us. In addition to that, beyond that, I had COVID for 3 or 4 weeks and was down in the hospital a couple times. And these guys preached, filled the pulpit, did a wonderful job bringing God's word to our people. They ministered to us not just in the building, but also in their witness, handing out tracts while they were here, and then preaching and delivering God's word to his people. And our people have fallen in love with them. We have as well. They've just been such a blessing, generous with everything they've done, everything they've had, their attitude, their time, and I cannot recommend them highly enough as a missions project. Missions is about helping churches, building churches, and these guys have a special part in that. Our church has taken them on. We already did before we had them come, and we'll continue to support them going forward. I hope you will too.
We've really enjoyed having the Independent Baptist Builders here with us at Central Baptist Church, and we had a vision of what we wanted to see the Lord do here in our buildings, but the benefits I thought were, hey, we're going to have a nice building and stuff, but the biggest benefit that I've noticed from our church is just the people. It was kind of, they knew the work needed to be done, they knew we needed some renovations, but the way that it's really energized the church is something that's, I thought it might do that, but I didn't know the scope and to the magnitude that it did. But as the work started going, the people were excited, they were giving, they wanted to be involved, they were coming up and helping, and I'm thankful that we can do this, and it kind of gives us a springboard as we continue to move forward for the Lord. When you kind of think of it as a unique ministry, we usually have church planters and foreign missionaries, but the job that the Independent Baptist Builders do is so vital to churches, especially like ours, and I know many churches around the country that need renovations, that need updates, but maybe can't necessarily do it. And then when somebody comes in, it just breathes the life into a church. And it's not just a building they're building, because there's going to be fruit that comes from this. I think that's a big thing, is we look at it, they're just builders. Well, they're building a church, and the church is building lives and helping families and reaching children. I would tell all pastors to view it like missionaries. And I love that they say that they're missionary builders, because that's what they are. They're not just builders. This is what God has called them to do. It's a very unique ministry, and I'm thankful they have the ability to do it the right way. But get behind something like this, because I know what it's going to do for our church and our community. And as Paul said, there's going to be fruit that abounds to their account. And I would encourage every pastor to really consider getting behind the Independent Baptist Builders.
We'd ask you to prayerfully consider supporting the Independent Baptist Builders. You can do so by supporting individual team members, or you can support the entire Independent Baptist family by sending funds through Bible Baptist Church here in Hillsborough. Every dollar that comes in for the Independent Baptist Builders, we send out every month to them to help their support. They're a huge blessing, and I pray they'll be a blessing to you.